Happy New Year. I know many of you are really happy that it's a new year. 2021 had its challenges for sure. I think we were all very hopeful that things would go back to smooth sailing, but I think there truly is a new normal and we don't know for sure what it is yet. But one of the parts of the new normal, I think, is learning to live with uncertainty and to accept and embrace it somehow, right? Because that seems to be our reality at this point. I'm always excited, no matter what, about a fresh new year. I love fresh starts of any sort. And this is like the big one for me every year is New Year's. Freshly revamp, finally decide to make the changes that I want to make and encouraging others to do the same. And I just want to start out quickly by talking about reflection, because there, to me, isn't a lot of sense in moving forward to set goals and to decide to make changes without reflecting on what has already happened. And it's a great way to start to make some New Year resolutions, New Year's goals, whatever you want to call it. It's your call to call it whatever you want to. And thinking back, I'm just going to say, really easily think back over last year if you have an appointment book, because I use an appointment book still. Here's 2022. Then you can flip back, start with January and look through and just have a notepad with you and notice what you enjoyed, what went well, what was good in your year, and just make some notes. You don't have to write everything down that you did. Just notice as you flip through. And it might also cause you to think of some other things that aren't actually written in your appointment book. And then also go back through and look for the things, or you may notice at the same time, you could do it all at once, whatever way you want to do it. But make sure you're looking for the good stuff first, along with the other stuff. What didn't you enjoy? What did you say yes to that you wish you hadn't? What didn't go so well? Kind of just combing through and looking for clues, because I always say, like, your previous year holds a lot of clues. So what those things were that you enjoyed, that you had fun doing, that filled you up, the people who you were with that made you feel really good and happy and upbeat, that is a good place to start with your 2022 goal setting. How do you have more of that? More time with those people, or a way to connect with more people like that, more time in your schedule set aside for engaging in those things that you enjoyed the most, and just strategizing on how to fill your year up with more of those things. We still have things that we have to do that we don't always love, but when you're on purpose about building those things in that you do love, then it kind of makes the other things a little bit easier and the year a little more meaningful and fulfilling. So I just wanted to share that this week. Do a reflection before you start thinking about what you want to do, what you want to change. Go back through what went well, what didn't go so well, and what are you grateful for? Were there lessons that you learned last year? Ahas, changes that you made with yourself, habits that you took on that maybe aren't great, and habits that you took on that have really served you well. And take full stock of this past year so that you have some good ground to move forward on, to make some good goals that make sense to you. It's clarity. Get clear and then move forward. So I hope you enjoy doing some reflection time. You don't need a lot of time. If you can set aside an hour, awesome. If you have a half an hour, great. Go to a coffee shop, sit in your living room, wherever you want to do it. It's no problem. You choose a location, but quiet and not distracted, with a notepad and a pen and your calendar or appointment book from last year, and start there. You will have a great foundation. So I support you and hope that you will enjoy reading. I have an article in my newsletter this week that might provide some inspiration, a quick blog post just to reinforce what I just shared with you, and also a podcast that I just got to be on with Valerie Burton, my colleague and friend, talking about time and scheduling and planning. I just love that subject. So there may be a few other insights there that may help you at this point that you might get excited about. So I hope that you will enjoy that. And please, as always, reach out and let me know what you're up to, things that you're interested in that I might maybe share in a newsletter. So have a great start to this year. Don't put a lot of pressure on, but do a reflection first. There's no hurry to set your goals for the year. You know, you can go a little bit into January while you kind of feel the year out. We're going to talk more about some other aspects next time. So stay tuned. And and also, real quick, if you're in the newsletter, there's a link to the last call that I did. I do it every year. It's the 12th annual, and the link to the recording is in the newsletter so that you can hear some more ideas about goal setting. You'll hear about reflection just for a few minutes again, but I do expand beyond that to really get set for a great new year ahead. So if you weren't there or you want to take a re-listen, there's the link, and lots of good stuff for you this week. So talk to you next week. Have a great week ahead.